Have you ever felt like you're just operating on a slightly different wavelength than everyone else around you? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into that exact feeling of being misunderstood, and we're going to uncover the surprising psychological reason why it might actually be a sign of a uniquely powerful mind. Yeah, if this question hits home for you, that feeling that there's this gap between what you're trying to say and what people seem to hear, you are so not alone. It's an incredibly common feeling, and it's the perfect place for us to start. If the thought of making more small talk just makes you want to run for the hills, listen up. It's not because you're antisocial. Nope. Psychology actually suggests that a deep dislike for surface-level conversation is often a huge sign that your mind is wired for much, much deeper connections. So let's reframe this whole thing right now. This isn't some kind of social struggle. Think of it more like your brain is just running on a different, maybe more complex operating system than most. Let's explore what that really means. And this is the absolute crucial point. That feeling of being misunderstood isn't a personality defect. We're going to unpack the idea that it's actually a natural consequence of a highly analytical and deeply connected way of thinking. All right, now let's get into the good stuff, the evidence. We're going to walk through 8 distinct signs that, when you see them all together, paint a really clear picture of a mind that processes the world with some serious depth. Okay, first up, your internal world. You've probably been told a million times that you overthink everything, right? Well, let's just toss that word out. Psychologically, what's often happening is hyperconnectivity. Your brain isn't just looking at individual facts, it's constantly weaving them into this giant web of meaning. It's why a simple decision can feel so complex. You're seeing all the potential ripples. And then there's being highly self-critical. This isn't just self-doubt, it's a powerful tool called metacognition. You're literally thinking about your own thinking, analyzing your thought process, and that right there, that's the engine for personal growth. Next, let's look at how you observe the world socially. You're basically a human pattern detector. You don't just hear the words people say, your mind is constantly reading between the lines, the tone, the body language, what's not being said, and honestly, that can sometimes freak people out a little. This also means you tend to think before you speak. You pause, you run these little simulations in your head, analyzing what might happen next. To an outsider, this can totally come off as shyness or even arrogance, when really, your brain is just doing its deep processing thing. And all of this, it really comes down to your core values. You naturally question the way things are, the systems in place, but it's not about being a rebel just for the sake of it. No, it's this deep, genuine drive to find a better, more logical way forward. That's because you're guided by this really strong internal compass. And that compass, it's always pointing toward truth and authenticity, even if it means ruffling a few feathers or making things a little uncomfortable to get to what's real. And finally, let's touch on your social experience. For you, being alone isn't lonely, is it? It's a chance to recharge, because frankly, the world inside your head is often way more stimulating than what's outside. It's not that you dislike people, but you really struggle to find your conversational match. You crave those deep, meaty discussions. So when you get stuck in endless small talk, it can leave you feeling so bored, so isolated, and once again, completely misunderstood. So we've seen the signs, but what's the underlying psychological engine making all this happen? This next section gets right to the core of why this disconnect happens in the first place. I mean, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If these traits are all about deep thinking and intelligence, why do they so often lead to this kind of social friction? Well, the answer lies in a fascinating little trick our brains play on us. And here it is. It's called the curse of knowledge. Basically, it's a cognitive bias where once you know something really well, you pretty much forget what it was like to not know it. You unconsciously assume everybody else has the same context and background that you do, which can make your complex, interconnected ideas pretty tough for others to follow. And wow, this slide just lays it out so perfectly. Look at that communication gap. From your perspective, you think you're offering clarity, you're sharing all this wonderful nuance, you're showing how everything connects. But from their perspective, all they see is complexity. They might interpret your nuance as you being distant or cold. And all those brilliant interconnections you see, to them, it can feel downright intimidating. That right there is the curse of knowledge in action. So what do we do with all of this? This last part is all about flipping the script. It's about taking this entire experience and reframing it, not as a burden, but as your most powerful asset. I really want you to let this sink in for a second. If you've ever been told you're too intense or that you think too much, hear this now. Your capacity for depth is not a flaw. You are not too much. You just think deeper than most. This way that you see the world, of connecting the dots and always seeking what's true, it's incredibly valuable. It's a quality that you should protect and nurture, not something you should ever try to suppress just to fit in. It's rare. So we'll end on this question. Now that you know how your mind works, how can you start to lean into it? How can you turn that feeling of being misunderstood into a tool for unique insight, for creativity, and for finding that small circle of people